guys, today I thought it would be really fun to do a Q&A. I feel like I haven't done a Q&A in a really long time, or even just sit in front of the camera and just chat with you guys. I feel like since the beginning of summer, life has just been so crazy with the move, and then just the craziness with summer, and then the holidays. And I feel like because of that, I haven't been able to just sit down and chat with you guys. So I went on Instagram and asked you guys to send in some questions. I feel like you guys either asked like really deep questions or super lighthearted questions. So it was kind of hard to choose which ones to talk about, and I feel like a lot of the deeper questions that you guys were asking, I definitely want to answer, but I feel like those need their own separate video because I feel like I could talk for at least 10 minutes on those subjects. A lot of them dealing with adoption and mom life, juggling it all. A lot of you guys know that I have lupus and arthritis, so I got some questions from you guys asking how I juggle those things with being a mom and everything else. Marriage advice, life advice, type of things. So I think I'm gonna save a lot of those. So the number one question by far was, are you guys planning on adopting again? Yes, we definitely are. I feel like we've talked about it in a few videos. We talked about it with in our Christmas with the Paradises video. I've talked about it in some other Q&As. But in case you missed those videos, we are definitely planning on adopting again. And in case you're new here, after 7+ years of infertility, we adopted our sweet little baby girl, Harper. She is now 18 months. Is she 18 months today? Oh my gosh, I think today is her 18-month birthday. We're gonna have to go eat a cupcake, except that I'm on a diet. But anywho, we took her home from the hospital, and we have an open adoption with her birth parents. And so we are definitely wanting to do adoption again, at least one more time, if not 2 more times. So we do have a few more things that we need to get done before we are like officially approved for adoption again. But technically, if we were to be contacted by birth parents, we would have time to like hurry up and get those things done, as long as she's not like currently in labor as she contacts us. But even then, I feel like we'd be able to call up a lawyer and like rush some things or something, but I don't know. If we were to get contacted by a birth mother tomorrow saying that she's due in a month and she would like us to adopt her baby, like we would be hitting the roof with excitement, and we would be like rushing to get everything done. I have complete baby fever. And Harper is so independent, and she loves to help me. She's just like the most amazing mommy's little helper, and I feel like she is just made to be a big sister. So a couple of you asked about Ben and Sarah. They're doing awesome. They actually have come for a visit since we have moved, and it was really awesome seeing them. We text them and call them. I text pictures and videos. We're definitely hoping that we get to see them again soon, whether it's them coming here or us going there or all of us going somewhere else or whatever the case may be. I do think that I'm gonna do a whole separate adoption Q&A because there were like some deeper questions that I would love to answer, but I feel like it would just make this video super long, so I'll save those for more of a adoption related Q&A. Wolf Mama of 3 says, I absolutely love watching the love between you and Joe. What was your first date? So Joe and I first started dating when I was 12 and he was 14. We dated for like a month, and then I broke up with him on New Year's Eve so that he wouldn't try to kiss me when the ball dropped. But you know, 12 and 13 or 14-year-olds dating is like the extent of holding hands and awkwardly avoiding each other most of the time because you don't know what to say. But our first technical date was he took me to the mall, and he walked me around, and we went inside of a store, and I saw something that I liked. I totally didn't expect him to buy it for me, and then he bought it for me, and I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like all excited. We walked around the mall, and he held my hand, and I remember being so nervous about how sweaty our hands were. Oh my gosh. Whenever I hold his hand now, like our hands never get sweaty, but I guess because we're both like so nervous. I feel like all kids, I remember talking to my friends about this when they were like dating their boyfriends, about how sweaty your hands would get when you were holding hands, and like, what do you do? It's like a big dilemma. That was our first technical date. Our second date, so I had I had moved away after a year, and then I had like kind of started looking for him after we had moved away. This was before Facebook and everything, so it was a lot harder to do that. So we kind of like talked on the phone for the first time after 5 years, and then we started having just a long distance relationship for like 2 months. And so then the first time that we actually saw each other, we had been dating on the phone, which is so weird for like, no, the first time we had seen each other, we had been dating on the phone for like 2 weeks, and he flew out to see me. We went to Applebee's, and like I picked him up from the airport and I paid for the dinner. So it wasn't like your typical, not that there's anything like, you know, the guy has to pay for it, but back then, I don't know what the dating world is like anymore. Do guys still pay for dinners? I don't know. Laura Stevenson said, what do you do in your free time? I love you, please put me in your video. So here you are in my video. In my free time, like when Harper's sleeping and I'm not filming or editing or something, or cleaning or cooking, or running errands or doing laundry, I kind of like to just zen out. I like to just lay in bed. That's so lame. I would say that YouTube is my hobby. What's a hobby outside of YouTube besides Pinteresting? If you guys don't know of Marco Polo, you need to. I can't even explain it. It's like I like to call it texting FaceTime. And so I have a couple different groups of friends on there, and we all talk to each other in one group. And then I have some friends and family that I talk to on there as well. So I feel like whenever Harper is like going down for a nap, I just like pull up Marco Polo and talk to all of my friends and family. It's just a really awesome way to just like keep in touch with people. So on my downtime, I'm on Marco Polo. I like to watch YouTube videos. I like to do interior design kind of stuff on Pinterest, and like dreaming of like house projects that I want to do and stuff. The occasional DIY, that kind of stuff. Is that normal, or is that just really lame? I don't know. Harper is laughing in her bed, so I gotta make this quick. Olivia said or asked, would you ever pursue IVF or any other method to try to get pregnant? So we actually never did IVF. We kept having IVF and things planned to do, but every time it came time to like make the appointment or go to the appointment or whatever it was, like Joe and I both just felt so strongly like we were just like hitting a wall. Like it wasn't at all what we were supposed to be doing. We just got kind of sick to our stomach. It just didn't feel right for us. I was doing it because like I was making the appointments and everything because we so desperately just wanted to be parents, and it seemed like the next step to do. We always had adoption in our minds, and adoption was very much always on the table, but we felt like we were supposed to pursue IVF and things like that before we proceeded with adoption, just as like something you have to do. And finally one day, like we had a doctor's appointment like the next day or something like that, and I was just feeling so sick to my stomach, like it just wasn't meant to be. It felt very much going against the grain. And so I talked to Joe about it, and he was saying that he felt the same exact way. And I said, you know, I really just want to adopt. Like, I don't feel like I need to be pregnant to be a mother. I just want to be a mother. And I also kind of felt like with IVF and things, I was going through a ton health-wise during that right particular time, especially with my reproductive system. My PCOS was really, really bad. And endometriosis started to kind of come up. I've never actually been diagnosed with endometriosis. You pretty much just have to do a surgery to diagnose that, but I am 100% sure that I have endometriosis. I was having absolutely crazy symptoms. I was having such issues at that time, and I really kind of felt like us not getting pregnant was my body telling me, with my lupus and arthritis and PCOS and endometriosis and low thyroid, The list goes on. I really just felt like my body was trying to tell me that it couldn't hold a pregnancy. We have such a love for adoption. I really want Harper to be an older sibling, and I really want her siblings to be adopted as well. I know a lot of families have children that are adopted and children that aren't adopted, and that is 100% perfect for that family. Every family is different, and what's going to be right for that family is going to be different for every family. But my hope and my dream is to just adopt 2 or 3 kids, and to just have them all be adopted and have open relationships with all of their birth parents. So the last question that I will answer for today, but there will be more coming. I am saving a lot of these questions to address in future videos. But this one is from Jessica, and she says, I struggle with depression and I am a mother. I wonder what are some ways to stay motivated as a stay-at-home mother and not just lay around feeling down all day because I struggle to keep going. And you always seem so motivated, creative, and happy. Thank you for that. I had gotten some other similar questions, and this is definitely a video that I want to do in the future, talking about this more in depth, because I feel like I actually do have a lot to say on it. But just, you know, saying like, how do you get motivated to get ready every day and things like that. Do not compare someone else's highlight reel with your blooper reel. That's one of my favorite quotes, and I think it definitely goes with YouTube and social media and just seeing all of these moms who are like perfectly made up and they seem to have it all together. I pretty much only look like this when I'm filming. So we're all in the same boat of having goals for ourselves and trying to achieve them, and you know, trying today to just be a little bit better than we were yesterday. We're not gonna wake up perfect any day of the week. And so if you see me like, you know, happy and, you know, put together and all of those things, that's because that day I was feeling happy and put together and creative and happy. And so that day I got out and put on makeup and filmed. And so then that's what you see. I would say that I'm generally a happy person, which I'm grateful for, but I have days that are just blah. I have days that I wish that I were doing more. I have days that I struggle to get motivated. I think that's one of the hard things about being a stay-at-home mom is, or anything really, is you have to be a self-starter. You don't have like a boss behind you like making sure that you reach this deadline. I think that a lot of us have kind of like our dream day or a dream person in our head, and some days we're really close to that goal that we've set ourselves, and then some days we're just a little bit shy of it, and then other days we're so far away from it. And try to just not be too hard on yourself. Try to set mini goals for yourself. Try to squeeze in time for you to have whatever you need for you to feel like your battery is getting charged. I know some moms wake up before their kids, like half an hour before their kids, so that they can get in their shower and their coffee or their exercise routine or reading their scriptures or reading a book or whatever makes them happy. They do that for the first half an hour of the day before their kids are awake. Other moms do it at night when their kids are asleep. I have found that having a routine definitely helps me. If I can get a routine down for the day and a to-do list and just a play-by-play of the day, that definitely helps me stay motivated and just organized to go from one item on my to-do list to the next. Whereas when I wake up and I kind of just freeball the day, sometimes the day just escapes me, and then I kind of start getting anxiety about the day escaping me and my to-do list that's getting longer because I haven't tackled it yet. And so trying to just be as organized with my time and as purposeful with my time as possible, having a little bit of a routine down, having a to-do list, getting in my me time, all of those things I think definitely helps me stay motivated and helps me either get out of a funk or stay away from a funk. So yeah, I just wanted to say you are not alone. I feel like a lot of mothers struggle with staying motivated and staying positive and not just kind of getting in the everyday routine of everything. You don't have to strive to be perfect, you just have to strive to be a little bit better. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Harper is awake, so I need to go grab her. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!